Good morning, mountain bikers. I'm Chris Wessels, and you are watching MTB Trail Review. Today, I'm bringing you a trail update. We came up to Rock House from the Steel Bridge over in Rancho San Diego. Right now, we're enjoying the view after the treacherous climb, but this time we did take the fire road, and it was much better. So, if you've gone up the single track in the past like we have, stop doing that. It's stupid. Take the fire road. Enjoy. If you start in Rancho San Diego, this ride starts with crossing this old steel bridge, which is just kind of a fun way to start the ride. The ride is an out and back with a couple loops at the very end, and there's a few different ways that you can do it. It starts out on some light double track that slowly turns into single track, that slowly turns into some pretty fun downhills, but for the first half of the ride, it is very XC oriented. We started early in the morning on a chilly day, which meant that the trails were pretty empty. But if you go on a warmer day or start a little bit later, these downhills that are closer to the parking area will most likely have some hikers on them. Definitely have your eyes up, and if you have one, use a belt. Ooh, my bad, I picked a bad line. These downhills are a little bit more raw than some of the other downhills in the area. And when I say raw, I mean they're not built. You're not going to find a bunch of berms on them. If you do find a berm, it's probably a rut that turned into one. And it makes for a really fun experience that's a little bit different than a lot of the other trails that we ride. It's a really good time to practice that flatter cornering and to just kind of open up on some natural terrain. And one of the things that I like about this ride is it has uphills and downhills going each way, because it is a little bit more XC oriented and has the undulating hills. You still have some fun in each direction. It's just not one giant climb followed by one giant downhill. Next up is one of the hardest climbs that I know of, but it's still kind of fun because it's so challenging. I've made it a handful of times. Today was not one of those days, but even if you make this section, you still have to have the breath and the legs for the next section. And then if you make that, still gotta get this.
I think I've done it once.
After some ups and downs and a little bit more double track, you'll come to this fun little chunky downhill that has a couple little features in it. From here, it'll flatten out again, you'll pedal a little bit more, you'll get back into some double track, and then you get to the real part of this ride.
The rut.
If you've done this ride before, you know that the climb to the top of the Rock House is brutal. If you have not done this ride, let me tell you right now, the climb to the top of Rock House is brutal. But you get some really, really fun downhills, and I do think the climb is worth it. This time, for the first time, we took the fire roads. I had heard in the past that the fire roads were so steep that you had to push the whole time. And while they did suck, it was way better than the single track that we had taken previously. Especially because that single track is the downhill, and we didn't have to worry about downhill riders. The fire road was also a little bit more direct, and it wasn't so technical.
Rider up.
It was just kind of a slog pass, and you had to get up it. If you choose to do the extra credit to the top of Rock House, you do get this downhill as a reward. This one's fun, but it's not the super fun one that you really came up here for. While this trail does point downhill, it's a little bit slower than some of the other downhills we get on this ride. It's riddled with some slower tech as well as some really tight switchbacks. That said, it's still fun. This is the downhill that you made this climb for. It's long, it's fun, it's fast, it's semi-techy, it's off-camber, and it is absolutely worth doing. One of my friends says it's his favorite downhill in the county.
Oh, that's new. Probably not a trail you're supposed to take. Whoops. Okay, it's actually in better condition than I thought it would be so far.
This trail is also riddled with rutted out sections, and during most of the year, it's extremely dry with loose over hardpack, and it makes for some pretty gnarly turns. This was some of the best dirt I have ever had on this trail, and a lot of the ruts seem to be better than the last time I was here, though they're definitely still present.
Oh, I took that way too tight. So despite some of my terrible line choices, this trail is in pretty good condition for this trail. Some of the ruts look like they might be a little bigger since the last time I was here, but it also rained very recently, which cleared out some of the loose stuff, and it's not as slick and treacherous as it normally is, which is nice. So yeah, this is a trail you enjoy and you haven't ridden it for a while. Now's a good time to hit it. And if it's a trail you're not familiar with, I didn't give full directions in this video, but I have another video on this one that gives turn-by-turn directives on how to get here. So for more information on the trail, you can check out that video. Whew, we're not even done. Oh, apparently I'm making wrong turns everywhere. Ooh, this is bad.
A short climb from the bottom of the last downhill takes you up to the hub where this downhill starts. From there, you have options. This one that we're riding is my personal favorite. It also happens to be the shortest, so if you're looking to extend the ride, this is probably not the one to take. But
Whoa.
I think this one is the most fun.
It's so loose.
The ever-present ruts are still there, but there's some fun little features. You get a couple berms here, lots of nice little kickers, and you're still going to get lots of chunk.
Oh my God. Yeah, that trail's in pretty rough shape. Still fun though.
And this is where the loop ends. From here on out, you'll find that you are on familiar trails. You're just taking them back in the opposite direction. Anything you climbed before will be a downhill, and those fun downhills are the climbs that you have to make on your way back to the cars.
I hope you guys enjoyed this update of Steel Bridge up to Rock House. It's a fun ride. It's a workout. You earn every single descent, but the descents are super fun. So if you have any questions about it, ask me in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. And as always, thanks for hitting the trails with us. We'll catch you on the next one.